let's talk about making skincare boring. If your skincare routine today is different than it was a year ago, and that was different than it was a year before that, then this video is for you. In this video, I want to help you stop hopping from product to product and to land on your forever routine. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Ray. I'm your board certified dermatologist. I have been treating aging faces for 15 years. And when I talk about skincare, I'm talking about your actual skincare routine, the products that you're using in the morning and the evening. And I'm not talking about the actual act of putting it on, like the ritual of putting it on. I kind of enjoy that part. No, I'm talking about the effort, the mental and emotional energy that you put in every day, week, month, or year into deciding which products to use on your skin. And if you are like most of my patients and clients before they meet me, then you are getting bombarded every single day by advertisements for products, by posts, including educational posts by dermatologists online, but also sponsored influencer posts around skincare products, from this amazing peptide serum to volufiline everything to niacinamide is the cure-all for everything, right? And you are probably spending more mental and emotional real estate than you realize on this subject, from watching and listening to these posts and advertisements to deciding which products to purchase, to purchasing the products, to using the products, to tossing the products, and to picking a different product, all the things. And I'm making this video specifically because I don't think that the influencers online and even my fellow dermatologists are doing you any favors by giving you random product recommendations in their posts and on their channels. Love and respect to all my fellow derms, but I see every single day how these product recommendations on YouTube, on TikTok, etc., lead to more confusion, more overwhelm, more product hopping, more money wasted, and more routine switching rather than more clarity, more peace, and more calm around how you're caring for your skin. So in this video, I want to first give you permission to just turn down the noise, to turn it off, to unfollow or mute when you see these random product recommendations coming around. And number two, I want you to know that you can get to a place where you feel more confident in your choices, where you feel peace and calm around your skincare routine, and it's not just overwhelm and confusion. And that is going to feel amazing, but all of that happens only when you turn down the noise. And if you're wondering, okay, then what do I use? There are just so many options out there. There's so many products, so many ingredients. I completely hear you. And I will say that even as a dermatologist, I know that it might not feel like the best option to make an appointment with a dermatologist in person, to wait months to get to that appointment, to spend 10 minutes with the doctor trying to get to a routine that works well for you, to have to pay a consultation fee, usually upwards of $200 or $250, and then to have to make another appointment if you have questions about the products or problems with the products, issues, if you need a tweak in your routine, have to make another appointment and pay more in consultation fees, etc. Okay, so I know that might not be the best option either. And so here I'm going to give you some tips on how to turn down that noise and to land on your forever routine. First is, when you are thinking about your skincare routine, don't try to tackle everything at once, okay? Just start with your core routine. Are you using the right cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen, and possibly hydrating serum for your skin? And I mention a hydrating serum because most of the women in my audience, maybe this is you too, are women in midlife. And it just so happens that in midlife, many women, even if they're experiencing, for example, hormonal breakouts or something like that, they do notice that their skin is more dull and more dry than it used to be. And in that situation, erring on the side of more hydration and more barrier support is the way to go. And you can do that partly with using a hydrating serum. So before you go researching and purchasing and using all of the actives, start with your core routine. And unless you're fairly oily, you err on the side of more hydration and more barrier support. So you might also use a barrier repair cream for the nighttime instead of your PM moisturizer. But I do recommend you first get your core routine down before you add in those actives, making sure your skin is calm, it's hydrated, your barrier is supported and resilient. And then you can work in those core actives. And I really recommend you just stick with these 3 core actives and just ixnay on the rest, because these are going to get you 90% of the way there in terms of improving the texture, tone, and radiance of your skin. And these are retinoids, peptides, and vitamin C. Now, in my program, Ageless Alchemy, I have developed protocols for these steps, for building that core routine, and then for working in the actives. These are protocols I've personally developed, and because they're so detailed and tailored by skin type, etc., it's just too much to put in a YouTube video But I will tell you that these are the principles that these core protocols are based upon, which is first building that skin resilience, building that skin barrier and hydration, and then working in these core actives in a way that maximizes their efficacy and their benefits, but also minimizes risk. Okay, and then how do we do that? First, we start by gradually working up your retinoid. And I have a whole video on retinoids on YouTube, so I will link that in the description box for this video. So you can get an idea of the different types of retinoids, the doses, the potencies, and how to work them up. Next, you pair it with a peptide product. And again, I have a whole video on peptides that I will link in the description box for this video so that you have an idea of what you're looking for in a peptide product. And lastly, you work in your vitamin C after you have been comfortably using your retinoid on a daily basis for at least a month. And again, on a daily basis, that doesn't mean twice a week, on a daily basis, comfortably, meaning without excessive irritation, dryness, peeling, all the things. Then you work in your vitamin C. And I don't have a video on vitamin C yet, but I will make one and I will post that here in the next week or two. So you have more guidance there. And by the way, all of that is so much easier. It is so much less dramatic and traumatic when you have already built your skin barrier and hydration with that core routine, that core protocol, meaning your cleanser, your moisturizer, etc. Okay, and then a very key component of these protocols is that unless you're dealing with specific issues like acne or dark circles under the eyes or hyperpigmentation, for example, that you stick with these core three ingredients and you bypass everything else that is coming across your feed. And when you do that, you are going to be like my client, Laura in Ageless Alchemy. She said, I am much more confident in what I'm looking for in skincare, and I'm not falling for false promises, and it is saving me a fortune. Okay, so that's where I want you to be. I want you to be in a place where you're confident in your choices. You are not fazed by all the noise. You are not overspending on products that are redundant or unnecessary, and you are still getting the results that you want. Now, here again, I'm giving you general guidelines, but these are the principles that the core protocols in Ageless Alchemy are based upon. And of course, in the program, you get more expansive guidance in terms of the products and what to look for in them, what to avoid, and how to integrate them, how to titrate them, doses, all the things. And of course, I'm available inside the program to answer questions when they arise, and they always do. If you are not inside Ageless Alchemy and you want to be, this is the time to get on the priority list. And on the priority list, you will get first access, first dibs on getting in the program because space is going to be limited. And you'll be getting my whole system plus my personalized guidance for a fraction of what you would be paying for the same in person in clinic. Okay, so comment ageless and we will get you on that priority list so you don't miss out. Okay, so another tip here, if you are looking for guidance on your skin, online, like on YouTube and TikTok and social, all the things, please, for the love, stick with one guide, stick with one person, one expert, preferably a board certified dermatologist, just one authority on the subject that you trust. Hopefully it's me, but even if it's not, stick with one person that you know that understands your skin in midlife, and can guide you on what to do with it. Preferably, this is someone with a long form platform like YouTube or a podcast, because then you can spend more time with them and you can really get to know their philosophy around aging and around skincare. And again, know and trust that they understand your skin. And when you're sticking with one expert, of course, this is going to take some action and some discipline on your part in terms of unfollowing or muting everything else, right? And then when you do land on a routine, you've got your core products down, the cleanser, the moisturizer, the hydrating serum, sunscreen, and then your actives. Give that routine the time it deserves to see a benefit. Okay, so all too often I see women who use a new product or a new routine and they, after just like 2 weeks, maybe even a month of using it, they get frustrated because they're not seeing or feeling changes. And I want to preface by saying that it is so common and tempting to move on to another product when you have your hopes so high on this product that you just purchased because of what you saw advertised about it. And you start to use it, and after a few weeks, you see nothing. And it's really normal and again, common to lose hope there and just abandon it, toss it in your bathroom drawer, which I call the product junkyard or the product graveyard, never to see it again. And that's $50 down the drain, right? And then you're moving on to the next product that has the same promises, right? And that's another $50 down the drain. But I want you to know that even when you're combining the right products for your skin in the right way, it can take time to see or feel those changes. Okay, so my recommendation is that When you're using a routine or a new product, you give it a minimum of 8 weeks, if not 12 weeks, to see some improvement in the hydration and glow of your skin, in the texture of your skin, and maybe in some fine lines and some reduction in hyperpigmentation if those are issues for you. So it's not to say that all of the lines are going to be gone or your skin is going to be perfectly evenly toned if you deal with hyperpigmentation after 8 weeks or even 12 weeks. No, but you should be seeing some improvement. And if you do, then keep going. Give it some more time. Give it another 2 or 3 months, see how much farther you can get. But again, I see so many women being so frustrated after a few weeks of use and not seeing any major changes and then tossing the product and wasting money. And I just don't want that to be you. So that is it. Skincare should be boring. You should be on a routine that is refined, that has the essentials that we talked about, that minimizes redundancy or extraneous products or ingredients that are not proven. You should stick with that routine ideally for years, if not decades. And this should be basically your forever routine. Like I said, kind of like your forever home. It's a routine that you are going to be with for the long term. And there's really no reason to change the products because they're the right products for your skin. And there are some exceptions to that, of course, like if there's a major change in the weather, if you go from humid weather to very dry weather, for example, you might need a slight tweak in those products. Or if there are major changes in your skin's behavior due to hormone changes, something like that, that might need a slight tweak. But again, if we're already here in perimenopause or menopause and we're experiencing these changes on our skin, again, that is likely you. Your skin may be more dry, more reactive. It might be more dull. You might be seeing the wrinkles and the hyperpigmentation, all the things. Again, we need to find the routine that is working well for your skin and just stick with it. Okay, so make skincare the most boring part of your life. And when you do that, ping me, please, because I want to hear about it. And again, comment Ageless to get on the priority list for Ageless Alchemy so that I can help you land on your forever routine, so I can help you get the results you want for your skin without just hopping around from product to product to product. With the overwhelm, with the confusion, you're going to have a system, you're going to have guidance, you're going to have personalized guidance from me. You will get the guidance of a board certified dermatologist for a fraction of what you would pay for the same information and services in office. Okay, so that is it for now. I hope that this was helpful in helping you kind of calm the mind a little bit when it comes to skincare. And I hope that I am taking away from the overwhelm and confusion rather than adding it to it here on this channel. Okay, great chatting, and we'll talk next week.